going full-time, one of the big concerns when you go full-time in an RV is what in the world do you do about healthcare? And we had a video that we did about 1 year in. You can check it out up here, but some things have changed. And so in tonight's Real Talk Tuesday, we're going to lay out medical stuff.
How we deal with all of this stuff. So welcome back to NOP, everybody. We're the Farnsworths. My name is John. This is my beautiful wife, Kristen. I'm a travel nurse, and we have been traveling around the United States. Well, in our previous travel trailer that we're no longer in right now. In fact, if you've been keeping up with the channel, you know that we are coming to you from inside of Dot, or Dorothy, which is our new 44-foot toy hauler. Yes. We're excited about this whole thing, but that's actually not what we're talking about today. We have had some recent questions and some recent things that we've gone through as a family.
Yeah, so if you're on the road full time, anybody, you're gonna need healthcare, dental, vision if you have glasses, and all of those things are really important things to consider when you're hitting the road. Now, if you're a travel nurse, you might have the ability to get health insurance through your travel nursing agency. You probably can get dental and vision through your travel nursing agency, but the healthcare portion of it is really pricey, especially for a family of 5. And then there's other options if you're not a travel nurse and you're just self-employed maybe on the road. You might be looking into like the affordable healthcare programs out there, which turns out are not actually that affordable.
That's
and
right.
The care coverage is just not awesome.
Well, yeah. So this is actually contract number 13 for us, and recently we have made some changes going into it. So before we did not have health insurance. Well, we've never had the health insurance officially since on the road since we started traveling. We have recently made some changes in the fact that we are now also using our dental and vision insurance that is provided by my agency. There are still co-pays and stuff like that, but as far as the coverage goes, it is fairly inexpensive for what we get.
It's been pretty good to have that. The first, 3 years that we were on the road, we did not have vision or dental. And I'll be honest, it's really expensive for a family of 5 to go get teeth cleanings and pay for it out of pocket. Dental insurance is worth it so that you actually go and get that stuff taken care of. And vision, same thing. We don't have vision on the kids. We just have vision on us. And I think last year we went and got our prescriptions adjusted and all that stuff.
With new prescriptions, and it does cover glasses and stuff. It's not the best coverage, but it works. But you can, you don't have to use the glass coverage through there. In fact, you get, these glasses also are all from
my beauties are from Zenni Optical, and I get complimented on my glasses all the time. This is, I think, the 3rd pair of teal ones I have ordered from them.
If you don't know what Zenni is, it's just an online optical.
Yeah, I think it's Zenni Optical.
Yeah, it's basically a place where you can get glasses.
So these were really $14, and then you add in the anti-glare or whatever. I think all total, even with shipping, it was $25 for a pair of glasses. However, I like the ones that are kind of plasticky like this. John likes the ones that are metal. And his from Zenni are not good.
They've never really fit right. They're really tight on my face. But, it is what it is. Because it is cheaper and whatnot. Anyway, let's get into the actual health insurance stuff. So we do not have health insurance, but we have, since started traveling, been using a health share.
Yeah.
And, why are we changing it now?
Well, we've had quite the year. We've had a really busy beginning of 2022. What we haven't told you really is in the background all the medical things that have been going on as well. Yeah. So we kicked the year off with COVID.
Everybody got sick right over Christmas.
And
it was awful.
Yeah, and honestly, health insurance doesn't really play anything into that because ours was mild enough. Nobody needed hospitalization. Then we had to take Ethan into the ER.
Yes. Well, we wanted to take Ethan into a urgent care, which is far less expensive, just in case you're ever wondering. I came home one night and Ethan is, very much in pain, had an injury at the skate park. It sounded like it could have been a fracture. And we tried putting him down to bed with the plans to take him to an urgent care the next morning, and he would just weep. And it was really tough. Really and ankles and things are not like that because, he wouldn't even let me, test the range of motion on it, so I didn't know if it was broken. He was very sensitive. He wouldn't even let me touch it. So we just decided, this is silly. I don't want him to sit here in pain all night long. So I took him to the emergency department. And I took him to the emergency department to the tune of about $2,800 when we got the bills and stuff back. Now, that's one thing that we went through.
Yeah, it ended up being a sprain, and like
it was a bad sprain.
The next day he was
feeling better already. So if we could have just made it through the night, but you know, whatever, it was an adventure.
You never know. Yeah. We also have had lots of dental stuff, which I know that the health insurance doesn't really affect that either, and we do have dental insurance, but that was just one more thing that added to our expenses. We had Chloe had to have a procedure done, and John had to have stuff done. Yeah. I probably do. I just haven't been in yet. Shame on me.
And then there's you.
So 2 weeks ago, I guess it was, we had set some trash out on the curb for like bulk pickup, which is like the extra trash, and it was really windy and it was blowing down the street, and I wanted to be a good neighbor, so I went chasing after the boxes, and I didn't do anything weird. My knee stopped working.
That's putting it so lightly. There was much exclamations according to the children, and a very awkward moment where some neighbors walked up and didn't know that she was injured and brought you Ethan's crutches.
Yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, since we have crutches on hand from Ethan's incident, they brought me the crutches so I could get back to the house, because I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna walk.
So long story short, we're still not really sure what's wrong with it. It has been improving. You can now walk on it again.
Yeah.
It could be a meniscus tear. I doubt it's a ligament at this point, and it just could be another bad sprain like Ethan's injury, which is what we're kind of really hoping.
Which is why I was like, no, we are not going anywhere. We're gonna sit here in this house for all weekend long.
Kristen did not like the adventurous trip that Ethan and I took to the tune of $2,800.
No, I was like, no, thank you. I will wait.
That's where all of this kind of comes into play. Is the fact that, we have spent some money on, overall health and stuff like that. So we wanted to kind of dive a little deeper into what we are paying for and that kind of stuff. So we're using the health share. Now, every family is different. And some things that you're going to need are not going to be met by health insurance. Some of them aren't going to be met by the health share. There are certainly some restrictions, and there are even some things that we don't necessarily agree with when it comes down to the nitty-gritty bylaws of the way that some of these health shares work. So as we talk about what our family's doing, and if it's something that interests you, make sure you kind of do, your research and go in there and read all the things that you need to read and that kind of stuff to feel comfortable with it. Yeah,
so there was a brief, tiny moment where we were trying to decide, should we do health insurance or should we stay with the health share? I did go and look at some like affordable care type of situations, because the travel agency is just, it's off the table for us. It's way too expensive for our family.
Well, and honestly, it's fairly average. Like, if you guys are already getting health insurance, look at your paychecks and see how much comes out every week or every other week for it, and it's significant. It was significant when I was working full time.
Yeah.
In Colorado or in Kansas, it was always it's not cheap.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna look at my notes here because I wanted to tell you what I found. So when I was researching the cost for our family, it was going to be like $1,900 per month.
This is the
affordable care.
Yeah.
$1,900 a month. Now, there are some tax benefits, so that probably wipes out some of that. But then it would cover, it was $1,000 deductible, but then even with the deductible, you're responsible for 30% of the bills after you meet your deductible, and then it had a maximum out of pocket of $10,000. And then I'm not really sure how that works either. There are co-pays, which were really nice, that ranged anywhere from $3 to $50 for prescriptions and doctor visits. So that part of it was nice. And I didn't get so far as to really dive in to see if you had to have specific providers, but usually they have to be in some sort of a system.
Network.
A network.
They call it in-network.
Network. We decided that we can do better than $1,900 a month and get better coverage or better help if we stay with the health share.
Yep. Now, I know we're talking a lot about this, and I'm sure some of you have not seen the previous video we made about this. What was it, like 2 years ago?
Yeah, almost 3 years ago.
It was fairly early on.
And it goes into great detail about how health shares work. So please watch that one if you want to know the nitty-gritties of how it actually works.
And we'll put a link to it in the description, or it'll be up here.
Yeah.
So.
Initially, we signed up for the lowest plan. The cheapest plan was $135 when we initially started. That was pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic numbers.
And it covered, we were responsible for the first $5,000 per incident. And then it covered up to $125,000 beyond that.
Yep.
And then you can have an add-on, which we did, called Brothers Keeper,
Brothers Keeper,
which would extend it to $1 million. And
coverage. Yeah.
And that was a little bit extra, like that was a quarterly bill that we paid, and it was pretty low. But all of that changed after the pandemic hit, and our premium just kept going up. And it's not called a premium because it's not insurance.
It's a gift.
It's a gift.
That's what they consider it.
It's called a gift.
Yeah.
It went up and up and up. So by the first of this year, we were paying like $250 to $300 a month.
Something like that.
For the basic plan.
Kristen and I are up to the highest level, which I think they call gold, and it's $200 per month per person. So I'm 200, Kristen is 200. And then the kids, we've kept at the bronze level. So what the gold level means is that right now, if we get into an incident, and it can be whatever.
Or illness. Yeah, because it can include...
Sure. Like
COVID or...
Sure, right, yeah. It's $500 per incident. And then everything else is shared.
$500 out of pocket. Yeah, that you
Yes,
pay.
that I would pay. And then everything else is shared. The kids are still at the bronze level, which goes back to the $5,000 per incident. Yeah. And then we still have Brother's Keeper for everybody, which used to be quarterly, but now is also monthly. So everything has gone up. Total, I think we're, $550? It's like kind of under, just right under $600. Yeah. But again, that's per month.
Yeah, that's what our family is paying per month for what you would call premiums. It's our gift to the health share, but it's our premium.
We would be responsible for, if you got injured, you'd be responsible for $500 of whatever the total medical bill is. And after that, everything else is shared at 100%.
Yeah.
Same for me.
And definitely, like for...
Yeah,
because we pay for the highest plan that has no cap. So
millions of dollars.
One of us gets severely injured, or it comes down with, like, I knock on wood, like cancer. There's no wood. Where's the wood? Cancer or something. If one of us should get really ill, then $500 is what we pay initially, and then all of the rest of it is that same incident, and so therefore is covered until it's done.
Yeah. It's a really intriguing and good option. The one that we use is a faith-based system. It's called Christian Health Share Ministries. There are lots of other ones out there, other different types of health shares available. So if it's something that you're interested in looking at, which we do suggest because it is a good option.
It is.
Then go out there and find it, because there's lots of them. And there's still health insurance too. Like if you have certain things that are just not going to be covered. If you have major pre-existing conditions, you may just have to stick with the health share. So you have to do what's best for you, and this is what's best for us.
Insurance.
Did I say health share?
Yeah, you did.
See,
this is going to get so confusing. If you have a lot of prescription medications, or you need to go see doctors that have like doctor visits, or wellness checks, those kinds of things, definitely you're probably going to want to go with health insurance, because all of that is out of pocket for us.
Yeah. Let me give you an example. If you have a heart condition, let's say you have congestive heart failure, and so you're on certain types of medications that you're going to be on for the rest of your life, those will likely not be covered under a health share. They might, but likely not, because it's a long-term pre-existing condition that you are going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. And so that likely not going to be covered.
Yeah, that is probably the biggest one. And for us, since we don't have anybody in our family, thankfully right now we're not on any kind of monthly medication or prescriptions. That part of it isn't as important to us, and so we're willing to pay out of pocket if we have to go see a doctor and save the money in the long run.
Anyway, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you have questions, let us know. Leave us comments and stuff down below. We'll try to answer them. If Kristen is likely going to write up a blog post about it. I'm not sure if it's going to happen tonight, but check back, and we'll probably re-update with a link below to kind of follow to that blog post.
Yeah.
As always, we really appreciate you being here. If you're brand new, let us know in the comments below. Also, hit the like button. That thumbs up always helps the video, and that's about it, guys. Thanks very much. And
all right. See you out there.